Hello everyone, my name is Ecem. I study English language teaching in Eskişehir Osman Gazi University. Our topic today is materials design. In the first part of this presentation, we mentioned the steps of material design. Now, I will show you how a material is evaluated according to these steps. In the related book, there were 3 materials that they evaluated, which were 12 pages long. That's why I did not add these materials into my presentation, but I will only show you the evaluation of one of them, which is called Case Study 2. It is revealed that the need had been correctly identified in this material. And according to the second evaluation of this material, the other needs remained unfulfilled because no adequate language exploration had been done. For example, language of time duration. According to the third evaluation, the contextual realization was very good and well understood, but in some ways factually inaccurate. In the fourth part of the evaluation, it is said there were flaws in the pedagogical realization which had led to poor practice by students. Writing was distorted through a lack of sense of audience. The instructions were confusing, some labeling were also confusing. And finally, there were flaws in the physical production of the material, particularly in the visual aspects which confused the students. So these are the steps we follow when designing materials. If we think it's needed, we can go back through these steps and make changes in the material. Now I will continue with the conclusions. According to the first conclusion, it is said that materials writing is at its most effective when it's turned to the needs of a particular group of learners. The most effective materials are those which are based on a thorough understanding of learners' needs, that is, their language difficulties, their learning objectives, their styles of learning, the stages of their conceptual development, and so on. This implies a learning-centered approach to materials writing, rather than one which is driven purely by the subject through syllabus specifications, inventories of language items, and so on. According to the second conclusion, it is said that teachers understand their own learners the best. Teachers understand their learners' needs and their preferred learning styles. The more they become sensitive and responsive to their needs, the more they become involved in researching their own classrooms. According to the third conclusion, it is said that all teachers need a grounding in materials writing. Teachers need to be enabled to write their own materials when circumstances demand it, not only in order to reduce their dependency on published materials, but also as a means of their professional development. In the fourth conclusion, it is said, all teachers teach themselves. Teachers teach specific groups of learners. This way they also inevitably teach themselves too. And this has powerful implications when it comes to the materials they are to teach with. In the final conclusion, it is stated that trialing and evaluation are vital to the success of any materials. Learners are the users of materials, and we have to heed their opinions and listen to their feedback. Now we have some true-false questions. In the first statement, it is said materials writing is at its most effective when it's turned to the needs of all types of learners. This is actually wrong. Materials writing is at its most effective when it's turned to the needs of a particular group of learners and their specific needs. In the second statement, it is said teachers understand their own learners the best. This is true. In the third statement, it is said teachers don't need a grounding in materials writing. It's actually wrong. All teachers need a grounding in materials writing. In the fourth statement, we see all teachers teach themselves. This is right. When teachers teach their learners, they actually teach themselves too. In the final statement, we see trialing and evaluation are vital to the success of any materials, which we mentioned previously, and this is right. So this is the end of my presentation. Thanks for listening.